Hey everybody, this is the Coding Penguins with team members Alex Pensado, Roberto Alvarez, and me myself Ben Vu, and our project is the carbon dioxide emission for traffic. And basically here we have the overall layout for our GUI. We have the start and stop buttons right here. And the stop button will basically call the code that will run the simulator. The stop button will stop the simulator, and the two text boxes here will display the calculations for the carbon dioxide emitted and the
Alright, so this is class which calculates the data which the user is interested in. We have two objects which will be assigned to the answers and will allow the GUI to extract them and display them for the user. As you can see, I have the calculator assigns 20 cars by the values either 1 or 2, and that'll determine if it's a Honda or a Volkswagen. As you can hear, there's a global variable. This will be explained later by Roberto in the simulator. All this does is extract the values, the velocities that have been recorded throughout the simulator. Once it does that, you have a for loop that checks if it's a Volkswagen or a Honda depending on the assigned value, and simply through dimensional analysis it calculates the combined fuel. You go from miles per hour to gallons per hour.
So this is the car class function which creates the cars for the graphs. Here are some of the properties: the x position, the velocity, and the lane. Here are the constants. Here is our move function which creates the velocities between 40 and 100. And then it's scaled down so they don't appear as a blur on our graphs. And this part of the code is for when the cars reach the end of the graph to set them back to the left side. This section right here assigns each car to a lane between 1 and 5. This part right here is basically what draws each car out and turns them into rectangles that appear on the graph. This first part creates the front of the car as appearing as a black object across the screen, and this part is it turns them all into white back, so it erases each one and is used to separate each car. And here is the GUI. We have global variables, so that in a later section. This loop is what creates the 20 cars and has them move across the graph, the plots. This code right here is what turns each lane into a yellow line. And here is what the global variable is used for. This part right here extracts the velocities of each car and puts them into array so that the car calc function class can calculate the carbon emission and the fuel consumption. When the stop button is pressed, the car calc function is called and used, and the values are calculated. This part right here stops the plot at where it was and records and saves the last image. And it's a positive infinity, so it just basically stops. And then here.